Did you know that a staggering 85% of school-age children display incredible creativity, but by the time they reach adulthood, that number drops to just 2%? Shocking, right? This decline raises a crucial question. Why does our education system seem to drain the creativity out of students? In this video, we will explore the reasons schools often stifle creative thinking. We'll discuss surprising facts and figures about how traditional education focuses more on rules than on imagination. You'll discover practical strategies to reclaim your creative spirit, even if you didn't get the support you needed in school. Get ready to challenge the status quo and embrace your inner innovator. Let's dive into the world of creativity and find out how to nurture it, because the truth is, schools don't teach creativity, but you can. Chapter 1. The Creativity Crisis. Why schools box us in. Most schools push standardized testing, memorization, and structure. It's all about fitting students into a neat, predictable box. While that works for learning math or science, it kills creative thinking. A study by IBM showed that creativity is now the most sought-after skill by CEOs worldwide, even more than rigor or discipline. Yet, schools rarely prioritize it. The real problem is schools are designed for the industrial age. They were built to produce workers, not creators. In his famous TED Talk, Sir Ken Robinson said, "We are educating people out of their creative capacities." He's right. Kids enter school with a natural sense of wonder, but it gets lost as they grow up. The focus on getting it right leaves no room for innovation. So, how do we break out of this box? One key strategy is practicing divergent thinking, generating multiple solutions to a problem instead of just one. A fun exercise for this is to take a common object, like a paperclip, and think of as many different uses as possible. The goal isn't practicality, but rather pushing your brain to think in new ways. This simple trick helps train your brain to see endless possibilities, not just the obvious ones. Chapter 2. Breaking the rules. Why creativity thrives outside the classroom. Creativity often grows when you're allowed to break the rules. Schools, on the other hand, teach us to follow them. But history proves that creative breakthroughs come from rebellion. Albert Einstein was famously bored in school and considered a poor student. He later said, "It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. Outside the classroom, creativity flourishes when you're not afraid to color outside the lines." In fact, a study by Adobe found that 59% of professionals felt creativity is stifled by work environments with strict rules and limited freedom. That's why it's so important to step away from environments that limit you. To start thinking creatively, try bending the rules in small ways. For example, if you're writing something, mix up the order or approach it from a completely different angle. Or, instead of following a standard routine, shake things up by trying something new every day. Creative people like Steve Jobs didn't find success by following formulas, they rewrote them. By experimenting and taking risks, you'll be surprised by the fresh ideas that come to you. Chapter 3. The 9 to 5 of the mind. Why routine kills imagination. Routine is the enemy of creativity. Schools follow rigid schedules, math at 9 a.m., history at 10. There's no room for spontaneous thought. But creativity doesn't work on a schedule. In fact, research shows that creative ideas often come when we least expect them, during downtime, like when you're in the shower or taking a walk. A famous 2012 study from the University of California found that 72% of people get their most creative ideas when they're daydreaming or doing mindless tasks. This is called the incubation period, where the mind wanders and connects ideas in new ways. Unfortunately, schools rarely give students the space for this type of mental wandering. To break free from routine, start by scheduling, in scheduled time. This is time where you let yourself do nothing, or anything. Go for a walk, sit quietly, or engage in a hobby that has nothing to do with your main work. Some of the most creative minds, from Leonardo da Vinci to Salvador Dali, practiced this. Da Vinci was known for taking long walks while brainstorming his greatest inventions. Another strategy is to introduce randomness into your day. Change your environment, or even try using a random word generator to spark new ideas. Shaking up your day-to-day habits tricks your brain into seeing things in a different light. The best ideas often come when you stop trying so hard to think of them. If you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us for more tips on unleashing your creativity. Chapter 4. The myth of right and wrong. Embracing uncertainty for creative growth. Schools teach us to avoid mistakes. There's a right answer and a wrong answer, and no room for error. But in the real world, creativity is all about being comfortable with uncertainty. Creativity expert Edward de Bono said, "Creativity involves breaking out of established patterns in order to look at things in a different way." If you're always worried about getting things right, it's hard to take creative risks. One strategy to get comfortable with uncertainty is to adopt a growth mindset. This idea, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, means seeing failure as a part of learning, not as an end result. In fact, studies show that people with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace creative challenges and explore new ideas. Another technique is to practice rapid prototyping. This is a method often used in design and tech where you create rough, quick versions of your ideas to test them. The point isn't perfection, but to learn through trial and error. Google, for example, encourages its employees to fail fast so they can quickly move on to the next big idea. So, don't be afraid to make mistakes, it's part of the creative process. Chapter 5. Unleashing the daydream. Why wasting time is the key to creativity. We've been taught that daydreaming is a waste of time, especially in school where focus is prized. But research shows that the opposite is true. A study from the University of British Columbia found that the brain is more active during daydreaming than during routine tasks. When we let our minds wander, we unlock new connections and ideas that focused thinking can't access. One strategy to tap into this creative power is to schedule time for mind wandering. Allow yourself moments of unstructured thinking, especially during low-pressure activities like walking or showering. Albert Einstein famously said his best ideas came to him while he was shaving. Another helpful tool is to carry a notebook or use a voice recorder during these times. Ideas can be fleeting, and daydreams are often full of creative gems. In fact, some of history's greatest ideas, from Paul McCartney's melody for Yesterday to Isaac Newton's theory of gravity, were born in moments of relaxation or daydreaming. Schools may not encourage daydreaming, but you can make it a part of your creative routine. The next time someone accuses you of zoning out, just remember that your mind is busy generating brilliant ideas. Chapter 6. Creating your own creative curriculum. Lessons schools will never teach you. Since schools don't often teach creativity, why not create your own curriculum? The good news is you can develop your creative muscles by following a few simple strategies. Creativity isn't something that's limited to artists or inventors. It's a way of thinking that anyone can master. First, expose yourself to new and diverse experiences. Research from the University of Graz showed that experiencing different cultures boosts creativity by 20%. Try learning something outside your comfort zone, like a new language, skill, or hobby. The more diverse your experiences, the more creative ideas you'll generate. Another strategy is to keep a creativity journal. Every day, jot down your thoughts, observations, and any ideas you have. It doesn't have to be formal or polished, just a place to dump your creative thoughts. The act of writing helps you see connections between ideas that may not seem related at first. Finally, collaborate with others. Creativity thrives in collaboration. A study from the Harvard Business Review found that teams with diverse perspectives are more innovative. Find people with different backgrounds and skills to bounce ideas off of. It's one of the reasons tech hubs like Silicon Valley are such creative hotbeds. They bring together people from a wide range of fields and cultures. In the end, your creativity is in your hands. Schools might not teach it, but with the right strategies, you can cultivate it yourself. If you found this content helpful, be sure to subscribe for more tips on unlocking your creativity. Embrace your unique ideas and start your journey today.